Hey guys, it's Maria Park. Welcome to Approach the Nerd. And we are here to talk about The Flash, Armageddon, episode 4, the fourth episode in the latest Arrowverse crossover. So we'll start getting into that in a second. I want to apologize that I did not have this done yesterday because Wednesday was my birthday. And then I also had Thursday night a vocal class on stage. Like, think of it like stage combat, but for voiceover people like me. And my voice was gone. I knew it was not going to happen. So all that intense screaming, like you're being like set on fire and dying, and it's just death curdling screams that you have to do. There's no way that I would be able to do a stream because I could not talk. I would have sounded like Kermit the Frog, who unfortunately ran into Freddy Krueger and his finger blades. So yeah, that was not going to happen. So it's a thing. Hello, Ryan. How are you? Okay, so let's jump into this. And as you saw my title, it does beg the question why I keep watching this. I know that there are aspects of this that people were very excited about. One of them being the fact that Ryan Choi was back in it. Not the Ryan Choi from Crisis on Infinite Earths, by the way, but a different Ryan Choi, one that does not have a baby daughter and a wife. So that's a thing. I see in the chat, Jermaine, yes, Two-Face was mentioned. So apparently Two-Face is back in town and Ryan had to run off and be Batwoman to face, Two-Face. That's fine. We're going to get into all of this wonderfulness in a second. Ryan Choi did get to have the Atom suit, and, technically it looked really close to how it looked in the comics. So I guess comic continuity, it's a thing. But I'm going to express something to you guys that bothers the hell out of me. And this happens across the board. And I mean, I'm sure if you are an Arrowverse fan, you still can agree on this level that I am correct. Every time we get a tiny bit of coolness, it is pretty much overpowered and overshadowed by the soap opera-ness that is the CW. And what I mean by that is, you have Alex in this show. You have, Allegra. You have, pretty much technically Ryan. You have all of these different people in this show. And they spent more time talking about relationship stuff and being in love than what's actually effing happening with Barry in 2031. And I was like, this is effing stupid. I'm sorry. So let's just break it down. So episode 3. Despero was getting ready to take Flash out. Of course, Iris, shows up with, one of their time children. I mean, I really love the speed children, or the force children, but it's just what I'm starting to do now. And she tells Barry, I know it. Something's going on. Somebody's messing with the future. So that prompts him to basically go to the future to see what's going on. And the end of the episode, he basically walks into the wedding, or it's pretty much a bachelorette or bachelor party combination thing of Eobard marrying Iris, which is, yeah, it's creepy as it sounds. Now, blessed be, we did not have a kiss between Iris and Wells, because if you've watched a lot of Comic-Con interviews with these two, Tom Cavanaugh always jokes about kissing Candace Patton. He's like, we should be the couple, blah, blah, blah. So he got his wish, but they only had like little awkward hugs and stuff. So, which is interesting. But, I digress. So he gets there and people like start calling out, like, this is for Cisco. Like all the people that he's basically killed. Like Barry supposedly killed, because Barry is now the Reverse Flash. And of course, Eobard is taking over his life as the Flash. We already knew that was going to happen. You have to literally be brain dead to not see where this plot was going. It's a thing. It's also implied that the part of, basically when they saw Barry freaking out on the street outside of City Hall and attacking people in the street, that was actually, Eobard. He went and caused this. So everybody would mistrust Barry, and Barry would feel like he was losing his mind and he wanted to give his powers up to Black Lightning. All of this stuff was expertly planned by Reverse Flash. It's not the stupidest plot, but it is a very predictable plot. But, it is what it is. I guess Kara and somebody, Jermaine, I'm looking over at you. Kara and Martian Manhunter must still be off-world 10 years later, because they're not at the wedding ceremony either, or the wedding party, should I say, pre-wedding party, bachelor party. So I think I'm just going to call it what it is, the West party. But I just found it very interesting that like some key players, once again, not around. So the whole time Barry is there, he basically has to fight off, everyone in the room. And so Alex is able to, basically make him immobile enough for Ryan to like take him, basically take him down a little bit. And, he's able to escape. And he ends up going to Jitters for some damn reason. But I guess, that's where that's technically where the pilot started when he had his powers. The first place he went to was Jitters. So I guess it's appropriate that he went back to Jitters to just sit there and mope about the fact that Iris is marrying, the Reverse Flash, and the Reverse Flash is living his best life as him. This whole thing to me, if you guys are a Marvel Comics fan, this to me, and I maybe it's a missed opportunity as far as I'm concerned, really would have been played out very well if instead of Reverse Flash taking over his life, if he had done what Doc Ock did with Peter and went into his body, basically, and basically had the whole Peter's, basically how Peter's consciousness was always talking to, Doc in his mind. That would have been cool if Reverse Flash was living in Barry's body. And so essentially it really was Barry doing all of these things, but Barry was a passenger in his own body. And he basically has to fight for dominance within his own mind. I think that to me would have been very cool. It would have played out very well. But whatever. So anyway, long story short, we got to have the Crisis on Infinite poop thrown in our face again. And what I mean by that is that we have to understand in every episode of The Flash that Barry is the paragon of love. It gets a little weird for me when the effing villains start giving him pep talks about being the paragon of love. He goes to Damien Dark, who Damien Dark was partnered with Reverse Flash in that universe. And of course, Barry's pretending to be him to try and get him to help him basically change the timeline. And, Damien Dark sees through it. And he literally does this whole pep talk where he's like, because this is what really... Damien Dark is still a villain in this, but he lost Nora in this universe. Nora is gone. So she's not married to Ray. She's dead. So is Ray. And so he wants his daughter back. And so Barry kind of appeals to I can get your daughter back. She'll be alive. You mean you're going to die, but your daughter will be alive, happy, living her best life, married to Ray. And so he agrees to help Barry based on that. But it's so interesting that even Damien Dark, who is dark, is giving Barry a love talk and pep talk, Care Bear style, to get him motivated to run, because he has to hit I think it was Mach 10 or something. It's Mach something. Oh, guys. And he has to run so fast that he can basically undo the time. He's running also so he doesn't destroy the world, because what he was saying is if he ran to basically create his own flashpoint, he was essentially doing what Despero said. He was killing everybody on the planet. He was destroying that world. And that is Despero, where Despero is from. So yeah, Damien's the one that talks him off the ledge. And it's so interesting. It's just, thank you, Mach 20. Thanks, Jermaine. I always found it really interesting that, it was Damien that was like, but you're the paragon of love. And I'm like, I literally told my spouse, I'm about to jump off this balcony. They say this shit one more time. They say paragon of love one more time in this damn episode. I'm out. I don't know, guys. I'm in my feelings about that. So anyway, Damien has a fight scene with Killer Frost and Chillbane. So Killer Frost and Chillbane are a thing. We know they're a thing because they were literally doing it in the bathroom. Allegra basically came out saying, hey, don't go in there. So that's creepy. I'm really hoping that doesn't play out into this actual timeline, because that's just, no. And so, but the whole fight scene, I thought it was interesting that, Damien was holding his own against them, even though they went to Constantine and got a spell to basically depower him, make his magic, I guess, enter against them so they couldn't use it. And both of these people have the ability to use ice, and he was still beating their ass. And I'm like, it's Damien. So I didn't mind the scenes. Like I said, the fight scenes weren't the problem for me. The problems were the misuse of all of the characters in said crossover. Now, we don't have episode 5 yet, so maybe I'm just speaking prematurely. Maybe we'll get more action from these people in the next episode, because this was the future and this was future them. And remember, they don't know who the hell Ryan even is as Batwoman in their actual timeline. So Barry not questioning this whole Batwoman thing was kind of weird for me. Like, he sees this person in the bat suit, and why didn't he say something along the lines of, "Where's Kate?" He just accepts this as Batwoman. That to me already was like, okay, question mark, what's happening? Because we know continuity wise, they've never met this woman. She's never met anybody in the Arrowverse. So that's weird to me that there wasn't that much of a reaction. But to have all of these characters, like, look at Ryan Choi. Ryan Choi is a very interesting character. I feel he got shafted after Crisis, and then they brought him back for this. And he literally is the cock blocker, like literally the cock blocker of his best friend, Chester P. and Allegra. Because apparently they played D&D. They got it on one night. Chester went to go get some donuts or something because he wanted to watch the sunrise. Allegra took it the wrong way and left. But in reality, she just got scared because she didn't want to be in a relationship, because she didn't want to have her heart broken. So she bailed. So they each basically are saying they bailed on each other, but she was actually the one that bailed on him. And of course, you got, Ryan in the corner saying, "You don't need her, man. Move on. Plenty of fish in the sea." It's completely 180 from the one we met in Crisis, who's a dedicated dad and father. But his only real role, he had the slight move where he was at the Atom, but most of the things that he did were basically revolved around cock blocking until Alex came and gave him the whole, you don't want to die alone. I mean, you're going to miss out on the best part of being human. That was Alex's true role in this. Like, literally, I feel like there were characters put into the love soap opera part of the story. And then there were characters, or should I say Damian, who was put into, the Reverse Flash and Barry's actual comic-y plot-driven part of the story. So it's split. And I hate that they brought these people in here just to be in a damn soap opera. It is weird. It was weird. And on top of that, what else did we learn, guys? We learned, number one, it looks like Caitlin is still single. Number two, we don't even know what the hell she was in this episode for, because she was like, what was the point? Number three, Ryan is married to Sophie. So Sophie and Ryan and Bat Chaser got married. And at this point, they want to have a baby, but they don't want to give birth physically to this child. So they're going to adopt. We learned something, guys. We learned something. We learned that these people that write this stuff are big on not using storyboards and huge on soap operas. It's like as the Armageddon turns, I guess. Is that a good one? One Armageddon to live? I don't know. It's so weird. It's like it's a weak plot, very weak. Like, look at how Barry ran and he used the power of Iris to get him further so he could hit Mach 20 and then, save the timeline. Very romantic if you're a West Allen fan. I'm not hating on West Allen fans. Again, Barry is with Iris. I get it. It's great. It's beautiful. Love is powerful. But that was his gas to get home. And it's like Iris of the future, who was dedicated and getting married to Eobard. As soon as Barry came and called her Lightning Rod, she's like, "He called me Lightning Rod. Now everything has changed." And I'm like, but your whole effing timeline has changed. So if you were affected by him calling you the name that apparently Eobard calls you, which quite frankly, Reverse Flash, that was dumb on your part, because if you're trying to establish a keyword that is going to trigger this person, if you are able to be triggered when the timeline changes to the person that she's supposed to be with, using that person's love pet name for them probably isn't the brightest idea. I'm just putting it out there. But like, I felt like it's so. And even with the Iris Ryan talk, where she's talking to Ryan about, "I still feeling like something's off with you. Yes, I love you, Barbara, but I just feel like something's off." And Ryan's like, "Well, I'll come get you if you need me to bail you out of here so you don't have to get married, blah, blah, blah." And I'm just like, what the hell is happening? Guys, I know that there are a lot of people out here that love this episode. I know there are a lot of people out there that love the whole damn season. There are people out here that love the whole damn Arrowverse. I am not here to make you feel bad. I'm just telling you, from somebody who really likes to look at plots and somebody who went to school for screenwriting and film, it is really hard for me, very hard for me, to continually watch something that looks like it was done by my daughter when she was in the kindergarten. I'm just putting it out there. My daughter could have wrote this entire thing in kindergarten. And she's a damn good writer. I'm not even exaggerating. So I'm in my feelings about this. Like I said, seeing the Atom suit on Ryan Choi, amazing. The Two-Face reference, amazing. I don't give five shizzes about who in the hell Ryan marries. And now that I know that once again, it's Sophie, I mean, it just goes back to my problems with Batwoman. It's just continuously force-feeding Kate's stories to us through somebody else. Ryan Choi was so effing underused. Chester P was not used hardly at all. I mean, his whole purpose was to have those dreads and to, which actually his braids look cool. No hating on his hair. I actually like his hair like that. But the whole purpose of Chester P was not to support anything happening in 2031, not to find Barry. It was to get his sexual tension and love, you know, I guess in his mind, unrequited love fixed with Allegra. That's what Allegra and Chester P were there for. Caitlin was there to do 2 or 3 lines and then react when Allegra confessed that she loved Chester P and he said, I loved her back. And you see her eyes like getting really big. That was what she was in the scene for. They couldn't leave Caitlin out because maybe in Danielle Panabaker's like contract, she has to be in every crossover. I don't know, but she had to have something to do. So that was what she did. I literally feel like none of that shit needed to be in this. I'm just gonna be real. I felt like more time should have been placed on Barry and Reverse Flash than the 12 and a half minutes we got of their interaction. I mean, you literally had them talking. Then you had Eobard like kind of snapping at people on his team, you know, Flash, and then running after, you know, having a conversation with Barry, confessing that he was the one that was changing everything and make everyone think that he was crazy. He's the one that pushed Joe in front of the train, changing the timeline, yada, yada, yada. Then you had him literally chasing Barry, not catching Barry, and then the timeline has changed. That was that story. That was that whole thing. If you take out the Damien Dark motivational speeches, that was literally the entire plot of the action portion of this. So that was about what? 10%. The other 90% of this was who's effing who, who's married to who, and love, 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 don't die alone. Bam. Armageddon. Guys, my question stands. Why am I watching this? Why am I? And I still have another damn episode to go. I mean, this is like something needs to shift, which is sad because there's only 5 episodes. So if you've only done 10 minutes of actual usable shit for me or 10% of shit for me, what are you going to do in 1 hour? I'm like to make up for 4 previous episodes. So guys, guys. I did love Cecile bitching about her daughter, who's a teenager, but then this is another problem that I'm having. Her older daughter that we never see ever again, that girl has been family mattered. She is Judy now. She went up those damn stairs and never came back. That is Cecile's oldest child. She is completely gone. They act like this. They act like she doesn't have any other child except for Jenna now. And I find that extremely effing messed up. Because every time Cecile talks about the end of the world and she's like, I need to get back to Jenna and Joe and blah, blah, blah. Call your other damn kid. Don't you think she wants to be, don't you think she wants to be a part of your life? Just because you're married to somebody else and have another kid doesn't mean you just forget the other child. That other child is gone. Like completely gone. Like not even mentioned. She's not saying, oh, she's in college and she's doing really well. She's living blah, or maybe she's engaged and blah, blah, blah. No, that child is gone. The only thing that I will kind of a little bit sort of maybe I don't even know, possibly accept is that at the end of Crisis, how they added a whole ass kid to Superman and Lois. They just completely retconned her child, and her child doesn't exist after, prior to or post Crisis. But they've never said it. They've never come out and said Cecile's first daughter is gone. I think the last time we saw this child is when Iris thought the Salvatore was going to kill her, and she invited them to go see Hamilton. And they didn't know if Iris would be alive on the Sunday or whatever day it was, because it was after the day she was supposed to die. That was the last time we saw that child. and that child is gone. And I'm like, I have no idea where she is. So she's family mattered. That's what she is. It's a thing. I see your comments on here. I'll answer them in just a second. I'm trying to make sure that I don't forget anything else. Guys, I mean, I just think it's interesting that Reverse Flash literally ran to 2013 to live Barry's life. I mean, went back to live his life, or basically become the hero, make sure that Barry didn't live to become the Flash, basically. And then create a different version. He created his own nemesis, but it was actually himself. Like, that's actually really funny. It's like playing chess with yourself. After a while, it's pretty damn boring. But yeah, I'm looking at all the, anachronisms they had, like, Damien and Barry teaming up, the heart to hearts, the whole PED thing they were using, with the time stone. That's fine. I mean, all of this stuff is fine. It's just the other stuff. Because when I really looked at my notes, I'm looking at my notes and everything was just drama. It was like all of this like soap opera damn drama. Iris doesn't know she feels this way about you, Barbie. She doesn't know why she feels weird marrying him. She loves him, she thinks, but she doesn't know. There's just something off. And then this guy who's supposed to be a serial killer who killed everybody, the bad nemesis, he called me lightning rod. So now I'm confused. And then I end up shooting Uabard and telling Barry to go before I change my mind and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, it's so tiring, guys. It is so effing tiring. The Chester and Allegra thing, we've seen them flirt in the I guess prime timeline. I don't hate the idea. I don't care about the idea. They have zero chemistry in some scene. Sometimes they seem a little cute, and sometimes they seem like they're both watching paint dry on a wall. It just really depends on what scene they're in. I'm not opposed to them getting together again. I just don't care. I really don't. I don't care either way. I could have gone my entire night without having to wonder if they were going to get together in this episode. It doesn't matter to me. Oh, guys. I'm doing a really good job of not letting Angry Grandma come out. I'm very proud of myself. I think I'm tired. I'm like, so I think that might be what's helping me. I have 0 tea right now, so just throwing it out there. But yeah, I mean, everything that I'm looking at in my notes says the same thing. Drama, soap opera. Why the hell? Why am I watching this? Those are my little notes to myself. The whole, there's nothing. All right, let me get to the top of this. Cause again, there's nothing. There is nothing. Nothing. Not like Hawkeye. I'm going to do a little Hawkeye stream probably in an hour. Or hour and a half. I got to see. I'm waiting on email, so I have to see. If not, I'm probably gonna end up doing a video, but we'll see. Yeah, there were a few Easter eggs in this. Yes, and Two-Face was mentioned, which it always cracks me up when Ryan has to fight Batman villains because she can't even beat Kate. I don't understand that. Let's see. They're definitely teasing Ryan and Sophie. Teasing. I'm like, look, I told you guys what they were going to do in season 2. I told you. Because I mean, it's just bad writing. And if you have a staff of people who are not imaginative and don't really care about plot or continuity, then what you just think about the worst possible shit that they can do and then call it out, and then they do it. And they just prove you're right. Everything that I've said primarily about Batwoman this season has happened. So I mean, it's a thing. Irish actress is being really good lately. What do you mean? And Cecile, define really good. Well, Kara and John are on another planet. Yep, they're on. And see, that can't be their excuse every time they can't find Kara or Martian Manhunter. They can't always be off-world. Because if they're always off-world, then why bother looking for them? They don't live on Earth anymore. They're gone. And if that's case in point, why in the series finale have Kara come out to the whole damn world that she's Supergirl if she planned on being there and living her authentic life when she could have been like, I'm leaving Earth. You guys got this. I'm out. So, you won't find me because I am consistently off world. Peace out. But I mean, again, that's a writing problem. So It's a thing. What do you think of the 5-episode event so far? I'm waiting for the event. Eobard Thorne was using the face modulator to change his face to look like Barry. Oh, I know. I just would have loved to have had more of a Superior Spider-Man situation going on. That would have been cool. Him fighting in his own mind, Eobard, for control of his body. Because essentially then Barry would still have all this guilt. Because, Barry feels guilty about every damn thing. But he'd still have all of this guilt because he couldn't stop Eobard from taking over his body and making him do really bad shit. That would have been very effing cool. It would have been even cooler if he wasn't doing bad things and he was just a better Flash, because that's what happened in Superior Spider-Man. He literally was a better Peter Parker and Spider-Man than Peter Parker was. So, I don't know. I think that would have been the way I would have written it, but it's a thing. You're loving the season so far? Somebody needs to, Blue, so I'm happy that you're doing that. This is supposed to be a superhero show, not a show about who's kissing who hooked up with who. Yeah. Neil McDonough is a gift to the Arrowverse. He knows what material he's a part of and gives it 110% every time. Yeah. I'm not going to fight, yell at, scream at anybody over the acting on these shows or the actors in this show. Primarily, it's not their fault. Unless they're just really shit people in real life, which I have no way of knowing because I don't work with them. I don't have beef with them. I will always call it out. It is normally 100% the writing and the producer's fault from the CW, because they're the ones that call the shots. They're the ones that come up with these ridiculous damn plots and storylines. And so that is what it is. People are going to say what they have to say because they get paid to do it and they're in their contract. So it's never their fault. I'm never going to blame them for that. This whole event to me was all over the place. Yes, it was. It really was. Like a soap opera. Why is Caitlin in every scene doing nothing? I think it's like, now I never watched Twilight, but did you guys ever see those little videos with, what's his name? Shark Boy from Shark Boy and Lava Girl. You know what I'm talking about. I forgot his name in the damn Twilight movie too, because I don't care about those. But there were like these like parodies where like he had to take his shirt off because he had a contract every 5 minutes. So they're like, oh, he takes his shirt off because it's in his contract. Well, I think that's what's happening with Caitlin. Instead of her taking her shirt off, she just has to walk around staring like she's blind or like she can't find her glasses in every damn scene, because she's just there like furniture. Like she has to be in every effing scene. Every scene. At the end of Crisis, she was sitting there with Barry instead of him going home to his damn wife, because she's in every effing scene. I've never understood it. I don't know. It's weird. What are we calling the soap opera? I thought, One Armageddon to Live was a good one. What are some more soap opera names? I don't know a lot of them. My mother is British, so she used to work Carnegie Street, but I don't think that's going to work because Armageddon Street doesn't sound sounds like a Freddy Krueger spinoff. As the love turns, because they keep saying lips. I want to do a drinking game on how many times they say love in the Flash. If I could drink, I would be in the hospital because I'm allergic. I think my spouse would be drunk as hell because I feel like if we really counted love in this episode, there was probably over 14 or 15 times. If that, I may be generous. It might have been a lot more than that, actually. That's just something we need to do from now on. We should have the love count. How many times did somebody say love in a Flash episode? The plot was transparent from the get-go for the first episode of Armageddon. If you didn't see this, reverse you Flash coming, people. Come on. Yep, you have to have been living in a can. I don't understand. They should have just made Alex the paragon of love. Seriously, she was representing. She was like, hey, that's the best part of being human. Now, sometimes I think Alex needs to be the paragon of anger management. You saw what happened with Esme. I got the perfect name, Days of Our Love. Yes, Days of Our Love. I effing love that. I absolutely love that. Instead, Alex's daughter Esme is a totem of love. She should be the paragon of love. That little girl is adorable. Why did Chester in 2031 look like Laurent from Twilight? Oh, that's the vampire dude, right? That's a horrible looking wig that Chester was wearing. I liked him with braids, though. I didn't look to see what the netting and stuff was doing, if there was anything flowing out, but I like how he looked with braids. I think he could pull braids. He has that head shape and his face shape that would be really cool with braids. But look, all I know is Chester P's one role, and I don't understand this because he came in the series kind of independent and strong. Like he would use lines like, "I don't know you people." He is now so whiny and so he's like that little guy that he's so fragile. You're scared to bruise his little ego because he'll never let it go. It's almost like he's still in high school and he's being bullied by people. It's weird. And I don't know why they do that. It's another fucking character assassination of another kick-ass black character and a damn comic book show. I don't understand. Asian characters in these shows are normally overlooked and ignored. Black characters are character assassinated. Hispanic characters, they just kind of disappear. They're there and then they're just gone. We don't really know where they go. I don't understand it. I'm never going to understand it. It's just effing weird to me. That way that Chester was wearing took away from his looks and made him look weird looking. I will say it was pretty big, but again, I still stand by the fact that he would look good with braids. I stand by that. Barry and Thawne both look goofy as hell in each other's suits. Yeah. I mean, it was not a good look. The writing for this episode was so mad. Flash writers need to wake up and give us at least mediocre plots, but who knows? They probably don't care anymore, just like the writers of Super. I agree. And when they mentioned Two-Face, it reminded me of Tommy Lee Jones' Batman Forever Two-Face. We don't really know what version of Two-Face this is. They also dropped the Lady in Red reference. And there are two people I'm thinking that could be. They need a full hour, so the extra padding was a result of the writers being in freshly painted rooms or in a mental ward. Some villains were mentioned, but who cares about what mentions give the audience the actual vision villains and show action, drama, crime, and adventure the superhero way. I agree with that. Like throwing out a bone that Aquaman is in this continuity in Batwoman, then where is he? I'm like, why is he just sitting on his ass? Where was he doing Crisis? I mean, just saying. The character Chester is being totally wasted and is now expendable. Absolutely. Taylor Lautner, thank you. Because I don't know. I don't know. I take a puff every time I hear level up. Do you? I'm telling you, every time I hear, I got to figure out what I'm going to do because I really am allergic to alcohol. I can't have alcohol at all. I need to figure out what I'm going to do so I can take a shot of something and it won't put me in the hospital. I'm going to figure this out. It's going to be a game. Bring back the Flash of season 1 through 3. They were about adventure, villains, crime, and drama. Yes, bring back the good old. Like I actually like season 1. I didn't have a problem with season 2. Season 3 at the end is where it started to get weird. Season 4 through now, I'm just like this. It's a soap opera. Or we can just call it as the drama turns. I mean, there's lots of terminology out there. I feel like love is the overall. Like I don't even know if they should call it the Flash. It should be called the Love. That's what it should be called. He should be the Love. He's red. Take the Flash insignia off. Put a big heart or Cupid there. Bam. We got a whole ass new superhero. And love is fast. Love is fleeting. I'm like, it's just stupid. Chester versus Luke. Who would you choose? Well, Luke's pretty effing assassinated over on Batwoman too. I would want to be around Chester a little bit more than Luke because Luke gets in his feelings and he gets bitchy and whiny and starts like trying to be argumentative towards you, and like how he talked to Mary was kind of antagonistic, and I'm the kind of person that will call you out on that shit. So me and Luke would probably be fighting. So it wouldn't be a misunderstanding. I would be cussing homeboy out. I'm like, you and Liza, yo damn mind. I'm like, so yeah, I think I would take Chester's fragileness, any day, because I just play D&D and just wouldn't say shit if it wasn't in character. I'd be like, you live your life, man. As you predicted, Sophie became a bat chaser, 100 trillion effing freaking percent. And don't think that this is just in 2031 alternate timeline. This shit's happening in Batwoman. It's sad. Laurent was the black vampire in the Twilight movie. Okay, yeah, see, and I need to explain this to you. I had to take my daughter to see the first movie. She had to read the book in her English class. I laughed at that movie so hard, especially when I saw the vampires with Crayola glitter. And they're like, we went to Walmart and got all the Crayola glitter, and this is our secret. And I'm like, okay, you can keep that. I'm like, and then I realized that they were actually not vampires. They were just really pretty zombies. That I really just stopped caring, and I couldn't figure out the plot. So I gave up on that entire situation. Hi, Ito. I made a flash bingo card. That's cool. Did you do it? Wait, was it a comic book version or was it this stuff? Bring back Ronnie. And I did hear that Ronnie might be coming back. You never know. He might. As much as I want to see more heroes have their own shows in DC continuity, I don't want CW to ruin others. Thank you. This is why Lady Shiva can never come to the CW. I will be so up and up. I promise you, if they put Lady Shiva on Batwoman and Ryan beats Lady Shiva's ass, you will never see another Batwoman review from me because I already find the show ridiculous, but that's it. I will KO that shit. It is over. Absolutely over. Lady Shiva can whoop Ryan's ass sitting down in a chair getting her nails done. If they had a show on Vixen, I'd imagine I'd fall far short of expectations. I think they tried. No, they did an animated series, and then she did like some guest appearances on Arrow. Yeah, you're right. They haven't done a full. I haven't seen the animated series. I saw the trailer. It did look pretty good. I don't know if they canceled it or what happened with that, but yeah. That sounds like a deadly Miss Park. I vote you sip a nice cup of tea every time you hear love, chamomile tea. Yeah, see, when my spouse says I love you, we say it in a way where it actually makes sense, not every 2.5 minutes. And I don't feel like River would be running through time based on me saying, I love you. It would be more like River running through time. Like, this is not my timeline. My show's about to start and I got to piss. I'm like, time to go home. Paragon will love my ass. I'm like, take a shot of Coca-Cola coffee. I would die. Because I'm pretty sure you guys know that I also have issues because of a medical condition that I have. I can't have a lot of caffeine. So I only do decaf. So even my Earl Grey is decaf. I am not like this because of caffeine. I am naturally hyper. But I can't, well, no, because if you take too much of decaf, then it becomes caffeinated. So yeah, I couldn't do that either. I need something though. Maybe I'll just I love blueberries. Maybe I'll just take shots of blueberries and I'll just have purple teeth. I don't know. Or have your partner sip a tall one for you. Oh, my spouse is probably sipping a tall one now. I'm just saying. River's set up. There's Mr. Jack Daniel right next to River's workstation in the other room. Twilight in English class. Yep, I know. I mean, they stopped teaching arithmetic. There's no more gym here, and now they're reading effing Twilight. Our kids are screwed. Pretty zombies. I mean, they were zombies. Tell me they're not. Vampires have things, and they traditionally, if you're going by old school stereotypes, you can repel them with garlic. You can, stake them through the heart. Blah blah. You probably still could stake these guys through the heart, but you know what I'm saying. These were not zombies. I mean, they're not vampires. They were zombies. If you watch, what was it? What was the name of that zombie movie? Warm Bodies, I think it was called. Warm Bodies. That is what they remind me of. The zombie that fell in love with the girl from, Warm Bodies. Same movie. Only Warm Bodies was better. The animated series were just short. It's like 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. So we didn't even get a full series. That's bull crap. The fight scenes were kind of cool, actually, but they just left it at that. I'll be honest, the only good thing from Batwoman is Poison Ivy. You are not lying. I'm like, I like the lady they have playing Renee Montoya. I'm not going to lie. I think that they did a great job casting her. I could see her being Renee Montoya in DCEU, but they're not doing anything with her. She's there to whine about, she's basically there to feel guilty about Pamela. That's it. To make Ryan jealous that she got it on with Sophie. They had drunken, I guess, angry sex. I don't even know what they had. Unrelated, but Hellions ended, but a Silver Lion, Quanon, and Grey Crow are an item. Oh, wow. Now that it's ended, maybe we'll have time to read the entire thing. I'll have to whip up my comicsology. They were emo phantoms or phantasms. I agree with that. I think Quanon is moving to Kitty Pryde's Marauders. I hate Kitty. Most people don't like Kitty Pryde. Sad that it was not about quality TV anymore. I agree. Like I said, what makes me angry is that there is potential in the Arrowverse. They just don't know what the F they're doing. That's the problem. They don't know. Like continuity, when they write stories on their shows, they don't think about what's going to happen when we have to have our mandatory crossover. How is this going to affect this timeline? They don't think about this shit. So then they write themselves into these damn plot holes, and they're not even skilled enough and creative enough to write themselves out. They just act like we don't remember it, like we're stupid. And so I've been over most of the Arrowverse for a very long time. Superman and Lois actually has been pretty engaging. I like that they brought in Steel, and now I like that he brought his niece. I'm sorry, she's his daughter in this. His daughter from his timeline is now going to be in Superman and Lois. I think it's going to stir some shit up, and I'm here for that. I have no problem with that. Stargirl, for the most part, I've been enjoying Stargirl very much. I'm hoping I enjoy Naomi. I'm telling you though, Supergirl, especially with the whole Supercorp thing, which we knew was going to go like a sinking ship, and how they once again took another kick-ass black character, aka Martian Manhunter, and they literally powered him down and made him weak as shit. And there's no universe where that is my Martian Manhunter. That whenever I would see crap like that, it just made me angry, and so it made me put off from Supergirl. And then, of course, The Flash. The Flash has been a thorn in my ass for a very long time. I can't. I just can't. It's badly written. Like, it's so badly written. And I feel bad in general for the Candace Patton, like her Iris West. It's not her fault how they write Iris, because they don't know what the hell they're doing with Iris. Because it's very evident to me that even though Jeff Johns was involved with starting some of these shows, that Greg Berlanti and all them were like, just do you. Just write it the way you want. Make these characters your own. Well, you can't really do that and then try and do the same storylines that are in comics, because it doesn't really fly. Because all you're really doing is creating a soap opera with little elements of comic, Easter eggs that you think that fans will be happy about. But in retrospect, we're asking what the hell is wrong with you, because it's very evident you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. So it's just too much. It is too much for me, guys. It really is. I'd rather watch Arrow. That's saying a lot. Although the first 2 seasons of Arrow too, I had no problem with. I thought they were very cool. I mean, I don't like what they did with Laurel, like the entire time, because Black Canary is such a powerful character, and they milked her down too. They assassinated Black Canary, which is interesting considering she's white and blonde. But yeah, they basically took a dump on her. When they cast Sarah, we thought that was going to be the new Black Canary, but that turned out to be White Canary. But quite frankly, like Black Siren aside, Sarah Lance was a kick-ass Black Canary. And I really I wished that they would have had her from the jump. Like, F Felicity, screw Laurel, make Sarah Laurel, and make her Black Canary, and then bam. I know that would have impacted Legends of Tomorrow. I know this, but I mean, if you really think about this, if you go back to the second season, or actually her premiere season, think about Black Canary as, with Sarah Lance as Laurel Lance and Black Canary. Keep her storyline. Have her mother, who a lot of people don't realize played River Song in Doctor Who, have her come in as the predecessor, or she's the predecessor, like her. Actually, no, I think in the timeline, if I remember, because I did Spotlight video, it's been a long time, but I'm pretty sure the mother was the original Black Canary. Oh, that would be sick, because then Oliver would have to sleep with her. So like, who? So Alex Kingston would have been the original Black Canary, and then that would have meant when Oliver was in high school, he was banging Black Canary when she was younger, like in her 30s before she had her baby, and then he'd be banging Sarah. Oh my Lord. That is so gross. But yeah, we would have to rewrite that a little bit, because like that whole premise of that, because if you really think about it, Oliver Queen in the comics did sleep with both mother and daughter that were Black Canaries. So we had to take that part out. That would be something that I would approve of them rewriting from the comic. So scratch that. Mama was not the first or original Black Canary. Never happened. So in this version, Katie Lloyd played Laurel Lance, and she is the Black Canary of the Arrowverse universe. Think of how cool that shit would have been if they had went with her from the jump as basically as Dinah as a Black Canary, basically. That would have been effing cool. And why they did not do that, I know what it was. They introduced Felicity. She's very pretty. She's nerdy. She is a wet dream for a lot of nerds out there. And so they're like, oh, we need to keep Felicity. We're like, well, she's only a blimp in the Batman comic. What do we do with this? Let's make it a slow burn where she has a crush on Oliver. And eventually they'll get together and have a really annoying and you know, kind of bitchy ass kid named Mia Smoke. Bam. It just makes you wonder, who the hell is casting this? You know what I always thought? I thought the reason we got Felicity is because we got Chloe in Smallville, because Oliver Queen marries Chloe and has a kid. I thought that they basically were paralleling that in this universe. We're like, oh, we had Oliver off with somebody who wasn't Black Canary in Smallville, so let's go ahead and do it in this version too. It's like, what the hell? Oh, sorry, Kevin. Yeah. Trust me, you didn't miss much of a recap because it was mostly soap opera, 90%, 10% action, and, you know, worthwhile. So, yeah. I mean, there really isn't anything else to discuss about the soap opera of this episode. But yeah, definitely catch it in replay because it's too exhausting to go over again. Like, it really is. Let's see. Can Black Canary take on Shiva? I've always thought they were near equals. Depends on who's writing them. I have seen there is one issue where she does defeat Lady Shiva, and it was basically pretty much they had a match that stated that if Black Canary won, that Lady Shiva had to take her place on her her spot with the birds of prey, and she does. I can't remember if I think it was off by one move or something, but she ends up defeating Lady Shiva in a match, and Lady Shiva does. She becomes a bird of prey, and basically Black Canary does it to humanize her a little bit, and it does work. Like she's still badass and will kill you in a second without a thought, but when it comes to the birds of prey, she's now very, very loyal, and if you mess with one of them, she'll kill you. So it did kind of go the way she was able to bond with them. And I thought that was cool. She even had Lady Shiva wearing her fishnet stockings, which I thought was absolutely, I did a spotlight video and I'm pretty sure I put that in on Lady Shiva. So if you have time, you can watch it. But yeah, that is kind of funny. But yeah, in retrospect, I really believe it's who's writing it and what the story is trying to get her to do. If you're trying to humanize Shiva, you have to defeat her to get her to do anything. So she's not going to do it just by you asking her to do it. Sarah Lance was amazing. Yep. Sarah Lance is Black Canary and White Canary, but I mean, her Black Canary was on point. I literally thought that was what the route they were going, but nope. And so I was in my feelings because Laurel Lance's actress, Katie, I forgot her damn name. I'm sorry. It's my age, guys. I don't remember her name, but I really didn't care for Laurel that much. They made her very flaky. Then they made her very needy. And I didn't like her. There was one time I thought her and Nyssa were going to get together because they had like this little flirtatious thing. And I thought they would have been really cool. And really, there was no reason not to do that. But it is what it is. But again, if we did have this with Black Canary, I guess it would have been bad because then we wouldn't have Sarah and Ava from Legends. So I get it. But at the same time, if we're going by what would have made Arrow better, that would have made Arrow better. I'm just saying. I never realized she was River Song. Can I just say I hated how she died? Loved River. Wish she came back. I loved her too. Technically, she could come back. And if he went back to the certain point in time where she was still alive. It's hard for me to go along with the Batman plot and Batwoman since the Batman on Another Earth was accidentally killed by Kate in Crisis on Infinite Earths. I know. Oh, Lord. Batwoman's such a mess. It makes my teeth hurt. I'm so glad I don't have to talk about that show till January. It's like a vacation for me. But it's hard. It's just really hard. Isn't that what Shane did in the L Word? Slept with the mother and daughter separately? Yep. Yes, she did. She slept with a lot of people, like sisters, cousins. Damn, I missed the review portion. Oh, I think I read that. Laugh out loud. Is it wrong of me when I first saw a few minutes of that? But I was like, wow, Iris finally has black friends. Yes. So wrong, Kevin. No. It's so interesting that, again, I said this earlier. How did they meet Ryan? Because we've never had this moment. She's just like established as being there. And my problem is, if like they talk about, well, we talked with Ryan back at the Hall of Justice, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? She doesn't know you. You don't know her. I'm like, this is so stupid to me. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I know Smallville gets a lot of praise, but is it really that good? Okay, so I'm gonna break this down for you. Smallville was campy and cheesy the first 5 seasons, until they introduced Lois Lane. Then we started getting more into the comic world, because the first 5 to 6-ish, well, I'm going to say 5 and part of 6 seasons, we're establishing Clark getting his powers. So he didn't have all of them at the time. Yes, he was super fast and, he had super strength, but he didn't have, his heat vision. He didn't have, he couldn't freeze things with his mouth. He didn't have his X-ray vision. Like, all of this stuff came throughout those seasons and him trying to deal with it. And then he got to like deal with people off of Chloe's, Wall of the Weird. But then when Lois it was season 4, but technically no, she shows up in season 4, but she comes back. Remember, she leaves for a spell to go to college. And then there's a part where she like gets expelled from college for drinking. And then she ends up having to go to school. Oh, no, she has to go back to Smallville because she, her dad is like pissed. Because originally when she first shows up, Clark has amnesia. I remember that. Then she sticks around because they made her Chloe's cousin. And then she had to go to high school with them because she was a few credits short of going to college. But then something happened. She was able to get the credits and graduate early. So then she was heading off to, Metropolis to go to school. And then she gets booted out for drinking. And something happened while they were on campus too. There was like some kind of mystery. It's been a minute. Something to do with a sorority or something. There was some kind of meta-human or whatever did something. But meteor rock baby. But yeah, and then she came back. But what I mean is when Lois started working for the Daily Planet. And I want to say that is probably season 6. Because season 7... I'm pretty sure season 7 is where we started seeing Legion, but don't quote me on that. I have the whole series, but I turned 45 Wednesday. So 44 plus 1, because I like 44 better. So I'm not saying the 45. I've lost brain cells, which contain memories. So I do remember plots. I just don't remember the timeline. But I do remember when she started working at the Daily Planet and then he started working at the Daily Planet, and both of them were not qualified to work at the Daily Planet because they had not gone to college or graduated, but they're whole ass reporters because, okay. So I like the fact that we started seeing all of these different heroes. We got Satana, we got the Wonder Twins, we had Booster Gold, we had Blue Beetle, we had all of these people coming in, like people coming in from Legion. We had the Justice Society of America, with Stargirl, Hawkman. We had all these people, and it was kick-ass. And the way they would introduce these people in was so organic that it made sense. Even when they had Aquaman come back, we finally saw Mira. I still to this day don't understand why Black Canary and Oliver weren't a thing, because she would pop up a lot and they would flirt with each other. But I mean, Smallville, for the most part, I really enjoyed that show. Like I said, there are parts of it that are like, what the fuck? But you're going to see that in every series. But this is the first superhero for me where I felt like it got better towards the end. It's like, normally it starts off strong. Like Lois and Clark was pretty good in the first season, was okay the second season, but then after the second season, or like when they're getting into the finale, I think they had 3 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been more. But when she cut her hair, and then like all this weird stuff started happening, like her being dreamed about being abducted by UFOs, and then her wanting to have a baby, and they weren't sure if they could have, like, all of this crap, and them getting married. It got really weird. And then I didn't enjoy the show anymore. And not because they were getting married, they just made it weird. So yeah, there were parts of that I had issues, but the first 2 seasons of Lois and Clark were very good. So yeah, I say give it a shot. And the really cool thing about Smallville is that it doesn't stop when the series ends because they continued it with IDW comics. So there are comic books that follow that kind of pick up where the TV series left off. So we get introduced to like Batman and other Justice League people that didn't make it into the show. So that's cool. We also have Martian Manhunter in Smallville as well. So yeah. Yep. I really enjoyed Smallville. So basically, the superhero soap opera started with Smallville. In a way, yeah. True story. So many plot holes in Armageddon. I'm tired of trying to piece together storylines of what goes where, but here we are getting our frustrations for the most part. I should change these to Arrowverse therapy. Should we have Arrowverse therapy sessions weekly? Let's have a therapy session because we effing need it. I mean, it's hell. I should probably do CW therapy sessions. This is getting out of hand. Also, the timeline shenanigans made no sense. They really do. Okay, when Lois and Clark got together in the adventures, it got really soapy and cheesy. It really did. It really did. So yeah, but with Smallville, they get together, but they don't like their relationship is like, you know, what it is. But then on top of that, you still got all this other bad shit going on. So that's why I like about Smallville. It wasn't just focused on Lois and Clark and them getting together. It was also focused on the fact that he still had to be the future Superman. So, and he wasn't wearing the suit. They were calling him the Blur. And so he was just like, he had like the the Kryptonian, family crest, but he wasn't saying he was Superman. He was literally called the Blur because he moved so fast. All you saw was a blur. And I thought that was funny as hell. But yeah, it's a thing. Yes, I have seen an old show called Seventh Heaven. And I also know that the father who played the pastor in Seventh Heaven got into some trouble for being an underage girl, I believe it was. Dr. Linda, where are you? You need a stat in the Arrowverse. Yes, we need her. We absolutely need 1,000,000,000% Linda from Lucifer to come and straighten all of the Arrowverse out. Next thing you know, you'll be saying that Ryan is the paragon of courage, not Kate. Oh, give it time. Give it time. It's coming. Trust me. It's coming. No tights, no flight. I think in the season or series finale, well, you know what? I better shut up because I don't, you know what? If somebody's going to watch it, I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm not going to say anything. I still remember the episode of Lois and Clark where Lois was a clone created from a frog and she ate it. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Oh my God. There's so many stupid ones that happen later on that are just, but I mean, again, I like the first 2 seasons. And the fact that they had a Superman who was half Asian in real life and had brown eyes and they didn't give him blue contacts, that was always, kind of an up for a lot of people. We're like, hey, we got a POC Superman, even though some people did not realize that he was POC, which I thought was interesting. But I do love the fact that Supergirl kind of brought in both. They brought him in from Lois and Clark to be Alex's dad. And then they brought in Supergirl from the movies to be their mom. And then, of course, we had Lois Lane, Erica Durance from Smallville, to be Kara's mom to replace the original lady they had in season 1. So at least everybody got to work again, but yeah, it's a thing. In Smallville, I like Lana Lane better than Lois. I didn't actually. I like Lois. I love that Lois did not put up with shit because Lana was like, she was very sweet and then she was very flaky because she was, I'm attracted to Lex. I'm not attracted to Lex. I'm with what's his name who's going to be in Supernatural. Now I'm not with what's his name who's going to be in Supernatural. I mean, they wrote her weird. Like she was written all over the place. But at the end of the day, Lois Lane came into that situation not taking shit from Clark, and I loved it. And from that episode to the end of that damn series, she still, when he would say shit to her, she'd be like, really, Smallville? Really? I love that. She was one of the best Lois Lane actors who portrayed her and character written Lois Lanes that I've ever seen. And I'm standing by that because, I mean, Amy Adams is a great actress, but as Lois Lane in the DCEU, she is not Lois Lane. She's Lana. If Erica Durance had been Henry Cavill's Lois Lane, those scenes would have been a lot different. A lot different. She went, because like when you look at Amy Adams sitting at the table, she is fangirling over Superman. Lois would have been like, so where the hell are you from? Why should we care about you? I'm like, I absolutely loved her. And that's why when you're looking at Superman and Lois now, Bitsy is actually channeling Eric Durance's version of her from Smallville. She's not doing Margot Kidder. She's not doing Noelle Neal. She's not doing any of the previous Lois Lanes that have been established. She is literally, she acts so much like Erica Durance. It is not funny. Even down to how they were dressing her when she first appeared in the first crossover, she was wearing exactly some of the clothes that you saw Lois wear in Smallville, and they even had the Smallville farm. So, I mean, that is the Lois you're seeing in Superman and Lois. That is Erica Durance. So I loved her. She came in there and she was like, bitch, please. Like, absolutely love that. Because Clark could be a little, uppity at times. He could talk shit. He couldn't do that with her. She was like, okay. Like, nope. The badass parts in Smallville was when Clark goes bad. When he got that red kryptonite, I agree. Sad about his dad, though. Let's be real. Clark did not love Lana because he never trusted her. True. When you put it that way, I can see you like Lois. I think I just like Lana better for the history of their relationship and the whole first love thing. See, I look at it this way. If we're going to do it this way, Superboy was a Lana thing. So I can see how the Superboy part of Clark would be appealing with Lana, because in the comics and in the TV show, Stacey Hydak, I believe, played Lana in the Superboy TV show. That was his first love. Now, they always leave out other women that he's been associated with. A lot of people don't remember Lori Lemaris, who is a mermaid that Clark fell in love with. She was actually a woman. She was pretending to be a paralyzed woman in a wheelchair with a blanket over her legs, but she was actually a whole-ass mermaid. They completely do away with Lori. We don't see Lori at all. Yes, he's flirted with Diana. Yes, there's been actual times where they got together in certain universes. But the two women in his life have always been Lana and Lois. I like Kristen Kruk. I liked her in Beauty and the Beast, the show, the remake. I thought she was great. I mean, yeah, I always will love the Linda Hamilton version, but I loved the remake with her. I thought it was really cool. As Lana, she was boring. I'm sorry. They had to do weird shit to make her cool. Like they made her a witch and they put her on these adventures and she was kidnapped all the damn time. What I loved about Lois is the daughter of a general. Her dad was an ass. She didn't put up with shit, and she went in swinging. So she is the Superman partner. So Lana is the boy's partner, and Lois is the man's partner. So if you separate it, then yes, Lana was great for his teenage years. But when he became a man, he needed Lois. Lana could never have been his partner as Superman. She's too needy. She lost her parents, which is no fault for her own, but she needs somebody who is going to be with her 24/7, who is dedicated just to her. Lois has proven that she even broke up with him because she didn't want to take Superman away from the world in Smallville. So Lois proves that she can be good by herself. She doesn't need this man. She just wants this man. Not like Lana, I need this man. That has always been the difference. Lana has always been very needy. Lois has not. It's just a thing. So I break it down. But yeah, I respect that you like Lana more. And like I said, Smallville for a majority of that series was a Superboy origin story, not Superman. But the later seasons when Lois comes in, it's just, you can just tell that there was a definite shift. He acts more mature. She brings out shit in him that, she annoys him, she frustrates him, and she turns him on. That's just what it is. And you're right. Lana hooked up with Lex. And yes, Superman loves his LLs. You're absolutely right. I will say that Clark has a type. Both their names were Lane, and that both are LL. And the Lex has LL named to coincidence. I think not. Yeah. And plus, it's probably the writers were like, I don't know what to call him, so let's just call him this. Like another LL. We like the acronym. Like just LL. Because think about it. Lori Lemaris, LL. So yeah, that's really messed up. If you think about it, the only woman that he hasn't really had a thing with, doesn't have two L initials, is Diana. She's WW, Wonder Woman. Like, interesting. So he loves women that have the same letter for first and last names. That's definitely his thing, but he prefers LLs. That's creepy. All right. So overall, guys, I really, really, really enjoyed talking to you about how I did not enjoy this this episode. That's not where you thought I was going with this. I try, guys. I want to be true to this channel, true to you guys. I want to do full Arrowverse reviews. I want to watch it and say that I like it, or at least objectively found something that I like, which, okay, the fight scenes were okay. The little we got. I enjoyed seeing Damien Dark beat Chilblain and Killer Frost's ass with no powers. And yes, Chloe did have a thing for Clark for a very long time. Chloe was creepy to me the entire time. She was always creepy. So her actress being creepy in real life makes perfect sense. But yeah, I a trillion % hope that 5 gives us a little bit more than what the first 4 episodes of Armageddon has given us, because quite frankly, this crossover was just as shitty as Crisis on Infinite Poop. That's my opinion. I mean, actually, at least with Crisis on Infinite Poop, we got cameos of other people that we wanted to see. I don't give a shit. I mean, yeah, I like Ray, and it's great to see Ryan Choi again, but I mean, I don't give a damn about everybody else. I don't care. I don't care who's having sex in the bathroom. I don't care who wants to have a kid. I don't care who's not wanting to find love. I don't care who's scared. I don't care who hooked up and left. I don't care. I just don't care. I mean, do they want us as fans just talk about what we did today? I had sex this morning. I'm very happy about it. Yay. How do you think it was? I don't know. Let's do an episode. No, nobody cares. What happens in your house happens in your house. I'm not saying you can't have romance in your story, but you don't have to have romance in every story and every scene monopolizing your whole damn plot. That is really weird to me. I'm just saying. So, yeah. Overall opinion, guys. That is how I feel. If you guys liked it, again, you are not going to get any hate from me. This is my opinion. It's like a butthole. We all have them. My opinion. I just want them to do better. I've lost hope that it's going to happen. I mean, at this point, it would have happened by now. But, maybe Naomi's going to be good. And maybe Stargirl will save the franchise. I don't know. But all I do know is that this episode wasn't cutting it. I'm sorry. This was a soap opera. I don't know why I watched it. And I have to watch one more, and I don't want to. And that's how I feel about that. So we are over an hour. I am going to be setting up the whole Hawkeye review. I just haven't figured out if I'm doing it as a stream later or if I'm going to do it as a video. Either way, it should be at 6 o'clock. So you either get a video, it's 4 p.m. my time, Central Standard Time. So in 2 hours, you should either have a video where I talk about Hawkeye, or we're going to set up a stream where we talk about episode 4 of Hawkeye. Because it was pretty good. I have no problem with it. I've actually was very impressed with episode 4, which I told you. I told you episode 4 was going to step it up because they only have 6, I believe, episodes. So we got to do something now. So we will have a great discussion about that. And it should be a big 180 from what I've been saying about this crap. So there you go. All right, guys, if you're not able to attend my stream and you're in the UK or somewhere else, and it is very late in the evening for you, then please have a very good night. If it is day for you and you are able to talk or at least attend the next stream, then I will see you in the stream, unless it's a video, that I will look forward to your comments. Either way, have a very good day, and I will see you in my next video /stream. Bye, guys.